right. Hey, hey. Love, the right. Lack, love, the right. Love, the right. Lack, love, the right.
Hey, loves.
Hey, loves. Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yes, guys.
Let's
welcome.
go.
Thank you for joining us on tonight.
Yes.
We are so happy to see you guys.
Super.
Yes, guys.
Super happy. Type in the comments. Let's
yes,
let me see our social media studio audience.
I see a couple of people.
Yes. Let us know you can hear us clearly.
Yes. I
see us clearly.
Sabrina Hancock. I see James Ray. I see Michelle Cooper Smith.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining so far.
Thank you so much.
Hit the share button. Hit the like button.
Share. Let's go.
Comment back.
Hey.
What's up?
I see that X over there on your avatar. Yes. That's what's up. RP to DMX.
Yes.
Peace and love.
Yes.
To the
and
family.
Prayers to the family.
Yep,
upliftment to the family.
Woo,
hey,
let's
cousin.
go. Praise God.
Praise him.
Hey.
Praise him. Hey, Aunt Judy. Thank you for joining on tonight.
Come on.
Everybody come in the room. Yes, hit the share button, hit the like button.
We gonna hold y'all tonight, but
hit the tag. But this not gonna be.
We just
just happy to be here. This ain't gonna be like a regular LovesTWS episode on tonight. But we are willing to share. Our testimony. We're grateful to share our testimony, and we're thankful to share our testimony on tonight. You know what I'm saying? It definitely could have been a different way.
Wait a minute.
Thank you guys for all your love, your patience. Those that did know, that called, text, inbox, offered Instacart, ShopRite, or everything, BJ's, whatever, food delivery, tissue delivery, glove delivery. Thank you for everything.
Of that. And I want to send a special shout out to the Burning Bush Tabernacle Temple Science of Science and School.
Yes.
I want to say Islam.
Yes.
I want to say love.
Yes.
Truth. Yes. Peace, freedom, and justice. Yes. To my nobles and my empresses out there that reached out and made sure that we was good.
Yes.
Love.
Yes. And thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the beautiful flower bouquet.
Beautiful flower bouquet.
Yes. Thank you.
Love.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, we're saying welcome back. Come on, Prince. Let's go.
Prince of Bucafe.
Yes, let's go. Got our Alma on here. Come on, love you guys. Thank you, God, for favor and family word.
Yes, we love you too.
We love you too, Auntie. Thank you so much.
Nikita, yes. Hello.
Hey.
Yes.
Thank y'all for coming in the room.
Yes, guys. So listen, we're about to get started.
Come on.
Listen, the title of the topic and the message on tonight is loving through sickness and health, right? Loving through sickness and health. And listen, when you take those vows, right? You say it.
You say it.
You say it with all power. Hey, Eb, thank you for joining us tonight. Listen, our executive producers for the Inspired Living Network that brought us on. Thank you to the stewards.
Shout out to my dude, Martin.
Tell Martin we said hello. We love you guys. Kiss the kids for us.
Yes.
Listen, again, when you take the vows, when we took our vows, when we took them.
Listen.
We said them. We said them because it was a traditional thing to do.
Customary.
So it was a customary thing to do. Okay. we competing against the president. I didn't even know that.
He's trying to get like 1.8
right. I don't know, cuz I don't know what he's talking about today. We'll go back and watch it.
Yes.
But you're doing your vows. We set our vows June 15th, 2006.
Right.
God willing, this June it will be 15 years, right?
Let me tell you something.
15 years for us, and trust me,
50.
We're gonna celebrate, right? Ooh. We're gonna celebrate in our own little way, because we are beyond grateful to be here. But it's a real situation, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That when you stand there and take those vows, like I said, unless you had custom vows, unless you guys made up your own vows, but you really said the traditional vows.
Right.
At the time, you had no clue in your mind what it meant to love through sickness and health, right? For richer or poorer, right? Till death do you part, right? And even after death, sometimes it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that's how deep I love is. Okay. Listen. Love definitely.
And it definitely was tried.
My God, love definitely is the right spot over here. Okay. Man. We don't care what nobody else do. Listen. Nobody else say. We thank y'all for supporting them.
Right.
But our love really is real, is long-standing. Hey, Cousin Rod, thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you for checking in on us when we were dealing with COVID.
Man.
Our families have been absolutely amazing. Okay, shout out to the whole entire Matthews family. Shout out to the Wright family, the whole entire Wright family. Shout out to the Williams family. Shout out to the Henry family, I had cousins, everybody calling from Washington. The Coxes, everybody calling from Florida, up from Florida to Jersey. My sister was even willing, like I said, to order Uber Eats for her. Yes, Kim, love is an action word. Absolutely, cousin. We talk about that all the time on here. From Georgia up here to make sure that her niece and nephew was good. So we're gonna tell y'all, how it started. Again, we have been blessed to be home since COVID-19 started. The day that they decided to close the New Jersey public schools. Our children have been home since then. Blessed to be able to be homeschooled virtually, just like all the other children in the Jersey City public school system. And they continue to thrive, thrive even better during this whole pandemic. And we'll do a whole separate show on that. But absolutely exceptional A's. Straight across the board,
doing a lot,
getting into a lot of different programs academically and everything, right? And as y'all know, they're 13, 12, and 6. Okay, just remember those ages because we're going to talk about it in a second. 13, 12, and 6. Okay, think about your average 13, 12, and 6-year-old, what they can do, what they cannot do. We don't know. I mean, these kids do a lot of things on phones. Sometimes, they just kids, they just distracted or whatever, but we can only tell you about ours, and we will definitely share about them in a few minutes.
Right.
Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining on tonight,
hey,
sis. Love you.
Yes, love.
Went to the doctor. I went to the dentist. This is my dentist, my family dentist. I've had this dentist for a good little while. Never had any issues with the dentist, and actually wind up going to the dentist during the pandemic. So while all of the medical professionals was closed and we were actually on lockdown, I went back to the dentist. Like I was like one of the first customers to come, or clients, patients, whatever, to come back to the dentist when everything reopened, and wasn't scared about it. Didn't have a bad experience then, and wasn't expecting to have a bad experience when I went on April 1st. Went on April 1st to go get a tooth pulled, a tooth extracted. The tooth was really bothering me. I was just in extreme pain, have been for months.
Right.
Y'all know how that is when y'all have a serious bad toothache, like when it's a nerve toothache,
it can take you out.
It definitely can take you out. But I was dealing with it again because, we couldn't, I was like, all right, the numbers are going back up, all of that other stuff. Hey, April, thank you for joining on tonight, sis. And, I said to Al, I said, you know what, babe, I'm going to make this appointment. But prior to making the appointment on April 1st, I actually registered us to go get COVID vaccinated.
Right.
Okay. And I did it through the New Jersey State website. We were going to go over to Newark because at the time, Jersey City did have like a shortage, or they just didn't have a lot of things. Hey, Sister Celeste, thank you for joining on tonight. And, they said, sure, we have your appointments, come over here. I think it was to NJIT or somewhere over there or whatever to go get, vaccinated. And we were actually supposed to get vaccinated the week between April 5th and 6th, like, within that time period. That's when our appointment was for. But like I said, I went to the dentist on the 1st. Everything was fine. I had worn my mask, and actually I've been wearing a double mask the whole entire time during the pandemic because of my other pre-existing health conditions, being a high blood pressure person for many, many years, whether it's controlled or not controlled, being, what they consider to be, of course, overweight at the time. I took it upon myself that I was wearing a double mask. So I would wear a medical mask like everybody else is wearing in black. And then I had, of course, my fashion mask over it, like my cloth one or whatever. Regular thing, same thing. Sanitizer always in my pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't touch anything in the dentist's office. I didn't need to touch anything in the dentist's office because they already had my insurance information, already had my stuff on file. Everything was good. Went in, they had their PPE stuff on, okay? From head to toe, shields, everything was fine, right? Get the procedure done. And, my mouth was still a little, numb, what I'm saying, from getting a needle or whatever. And at the same time, it was like a little pain too, because by the time she was almost done, it was like starting to wear off a little bit. That's regular. Hey, Aunt Kathy.
Hey.
Love you. Thank you for joining. So, I'm like, all right. Now the dentist is literally around the corner from where I live, right? Literally. Hey, Steve Spradley. Love you, brother. Thank you for joining on tonight. Literally. So I only had to walk. I didn't even have to drive myself, back home or drive myself to the dentist. I literally could walk. And when I came home, I said to Alonzo, I said, I don't know, my throat felt funny.
Right.
Coming back from the dentist, just immediately, like not pain, but I was like, maybe it was because she had to pull a tooth. I don't know, whatever it was, whatever my rationale and reason was, I was like, all right. So then, of course, a couple of days go by.
Right.
Our daughter's 12th birthday was on the 3rd of April. And, I had to get myself together to, celebrate it out with her. We took her out for a little while and different things like that. And, hey, Steve. And with that being said, it was like, all right. But I'm going to tell y'all, by Sunday morning, by the 4th of April, it came crashing all the way down on me. And I'm saying that to say that that's how quick COVID can get in your system. That's how fast COVID can affect your system or begin to affect your system. I may have been even exposed to it a little bit sooner. I'm not necessarily blaming the dentist, but what I will say is that in the dentist's office and most medical offices here in the state of New Jersey, or at least in Jersey City and around this area, they only do a temperature check. Even restaurants, they only do a temperature check. Right. We have the same digital thermometer here at home. Right. You put it up to your forehead, you check your temperature, okay? It's able to check the temperature in the air and the environment that's around it, but that's not necessarily accurate.
I mean, how could you really know?
Exactly, right? I mean, again, a person not having a temperature doesn't mean that they don't have COVID. And we're going to get into that in a second, right? Yeah. So, you know, I was like, all right, let me get up. Let me taste the pickle. You know what I'm saying? That was on a Sunday morning. I said, I have a jar of Clarkson garlic pickles, which is my favorite. And I was like, you know, I kind of snack on those every now and then because I do keto. And I was like, okay, let me just taste the pickle. Right. And honestly, I could not taste the pickle. Then I was like, wait a minute, babe, let me try something else. And he was like, okay, what you want to try? I was like, okay, let me try the jar of Spanish olives, green olives, right? I took the green olives out the refrigerator and I couldn't taste the green olives. So I said, wait a minute. Okay. Houston, we having a problem here, right? And then I was like, okay, let me put a mask on. You know, you stay away from me. You know, we'll separate for the day. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I know you still in the house or whatever the case may be, but I don't really want you to be up on me, you know what I'm saying, or by me. And thank God, you know, shout out to my mother-in-law who definitely held us down throughout the whole COVID process, even though she couldn't physically come in the house, definitely ripping and running and doing some things for us and picking up some things for us. But she came and took the children to take Jayla out that day for her birthday. So that allowed them not to be home basically for that whole day into that night, which was that Sunday. And I went to go lay down because I felt like so lethargic. And that was day one, right? Day one of me just feeling bad. Woke up the next morning on the 5th. I felt really bad. And I said, you know what, Alonzo, let me go and take a test. My nose was congested. My throat was itchy and burny. And it kind of is similar symptoms if you have sinusitis, if you have allergies, and which I do. I have had cases and battles with sinusitis and all of that. The nasal drip that you have from your nose and the back of your throat, all of that stuff. And I'm telling you, these are the symptoms that I had, you know what I'm saying, immediately. So I go to the drugstore to take a rapid test. You know, I got the results back or whatever. And they were like, you're COVID positive. And I'm saying in my head, you know, I'm rationalizing in my mind, like, no way, you know what I'm saying? Because I have been ultra safe, right? We have been completely home, not out and about, not whining and dining, not going to the city, not doing, you know, not doing stuff all the things that we would normally do on a normal basis, and being really, really extra careful, even ordering groceries in before we even had COVID. Some days, if I don't feel like going out, you know, shop right at home was my friend. You know what I'm saying? Instacart for BJ's was my friend. You know, so it's like, if you can afford to do it, go ahead and do it. You don't have to be out, you know what I'm saying? Let them deliver it to you at home, right?
Yes.
And that was the whole process. And then once that happened, I'm like, all right, all of y'all have to wear masks around the house. And that's how it started for the whole quarantining for me. And, you know, that was a real situation because me and Alonzo, you know, unlike whatever other married couples do, we sleep with each other all the time. We're around each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it was very difficult for my husband to see me start to go through all of these symptoms and changes. And there's nothing that he can do about it. You know, he had to come into the living room area, sleep on the chase. Like, you know, all of that stuff was starting. And then Tuesday, I started getting the body aches. And when I tell y'all the body aches are serious, my God, I definitely, I've always prayed for people who have sickle cell anemia, those that have autoimmune disease, that certain autoimmune diseases that attack their body, like basically from the inside out, and they can't explain the pain to you. Hey, cousin Rick, love you. Thank you for joining on tonight.
Peace.
The feeling that I had was just that. COVID like attacks like your nerves. It constricts, you know what I'm saying, your legs. It's like a lot of leg pain. It makes your arms feel heavy. It makes your legs feel heavy. And I'm telling you, the pain was just really like, okay, should I take a Tylenol? Should I not take a Tylenol? Do I need a heating pad? Do I need whatever? And throughout the whole process, even though Alonzo Sr. was wearing a mask, and gloves coming in and dealing with me. Unfortunately, he eventually got exposed, and he'll talk about that in a second. But with that being said, by the 7th, which was Wednesday, I had full-blown COVID symptoms, you know what I'm saying? From fever to body aches and chills to the shortness of breath. Okay. And the shortness of breath was very, very serious, to the point where like it was just too much. It was exhausting to talk, right? It was exhausting to move. It was a trial just to even walk to the bathroom. And thank God, our home is the way that it is. We're blessed to have multiple bathrooms here. So it's like a bathroom in your bedroom. You only got to walk a couple of paces. And that was a trial to get there. Okay. Because COVID does mess, like I said, with your nerves. So your balance is off. I felt like I had like an ear infection or something going on with my ear. It was like a lot of things going on all at the same time. And shout out to, our primary care physician, because honestly, I called her and I was like, okay, I'm COVID positive. It's really only day 3 officially, you know what I'm saying, since I got my positive test results back. I feel bad. I feel horrible. Is there something that you can give me? Is there something that you can do? And honestly, I have to even shout out my pastors, Pastor Sharita and Pastor Bo of the Exchange Church, because when I told them that I was COVID positive on that Tuesday after getting my results back, she was like, oh no, we're praying right now. And then she immediately followed up and said, ask them if you can get the antibodies. And I had no clue about any COVID antibody infusion or any antibody drugs really that exist. Because if you never have COVID, if you wasn't exposed to COVID, you're not knowing the research and the resources that are available to you, whether you have insurance or not have insurance, to help you, especially if you are quote unquote high risk, or a person who has a pre-existing health condition. Thank God our primary doctor did know that. So when I called with my pastor's instruction, she was like, absolutely, you're a candidate. You know what I'm saying? Just have your husband drive you to medical center, bring you at 6 a.m. in the morning and go get this, infusion. And basically, I was able to get the infusion. They fast tracked me, but I wasn't the only COVID patient there. There were a lot of young people. Okay. When I mean young people, meaning younger than us, under 40, teenagers, moms with children, and they were in different, triage beds at the time, and everybody is coughing, they're hacking, they're moaning, they're groaning, they're sick, all of this other stuff. And you're saying, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's supposed to be wearing masks, right? Everybody is supposed to be, sanitizer. Everybody's supposed to be 6 feet apart. But as my Aunt Kathy always says, and she's been saying throughout this whole process, unfortunately, almost everybody will be exposed to COVID, or has been exposed, you may not know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, just a touch of it or whatever the situation may be, whether you're vaccinated or not, it's kind of like the inevitable thing because it is an airborne virus, right? And we really don't know like how the transmission really happens. Right. And like for me, I'm still trying to rationalize it. And I really was pissed. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not a good thing to think about now, but I really was pissed with my dentist to me that I felt like this is where I was exposed at because I wasn't anywhere else prior to that.
Right.
That I can remember where my mouth would have been open or not covered with a mask. And like I said, been wearing double masks for a whole year or more now. And when I called them to let them know that I was COVID positive, they said to me, you know, that the whole staff, of course, was already vaccinated. So I didn't get exposed necessarily from the staff. Right. But there is a possibility. Hey, Sister Nina, thank you for joining.
Yes.
A possibility that there was an asymptomatic person who may have been in the room, you know, examination room at the dentist's office prior to me being there. Right. But because of HIPAA laws and different things like that, of course, they can't tell me, you know, what patient was there before me or different things like that and blah, 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 and so on. So,
right.
So again, asymptomatic, okay, asymptomatic is, you know, a person who has no symptoms, right? They're not displaying any symptoms. They're not showing any symptoms. So let's go back to what we just said a little bit while ago about taking the temperature on the forehead or the temperature on the wrist. If you're asymptomatic, okay, you're not going to have a fever. Everyone that I've known that has COVID-19, not all of them have had a fever, okay? I only had a fever one day. I had a fever that Thursday or whatever the case may be. And it only lasted me a day and my body was able to fight it off. And thank God, because I had already had the COVID monoclonal antibody infusion on that Wednesday. So that next day I did have a fever, but you know, it was like, you know, not that much or whatever. It was like going and coming. But my situation was really about the breathing, unable to talk, like I said, the movement, the body constricting, you know what I'm saying, the pain, the chills, you know, the restlessness, all of that good stuff or whatever the case may be is how, you know, COVID, and also the nausea, you know, the puking. I could barely keep anything down in my system. And I'll talk about that once Alonzo talks about his portion. But, you know, it was like certain things, thank God, that we had in our house already that definitely helped us. And I will definitely say we were people, and we still are people, who are very much so naturalists, as well as an advocate for medical, you know, assistance going together, working hand in hand, medical treatment. So we were already taking CMOS. Yes, cousin, the breathlessness is no joke. We was already taking CMOS. We were already taking vitamin C. We were already taking D. We was already taking vitamin A. We've been taking selenium. Okay, we was already taking selenium. Hey, Sister Vivian, thank you for joining.
Yes.
We were already taking so many different, what you call it, elderberry, echinacea. Like we always kept all of that stuff in our house. Shout out to Miss Diane on the junction. She knows us, okay? You know what I'm saying? We are constantly, this is what we've been doing for years. This was not nothing new. And I do believe that, you know, having some of that stuff in our system definitely allow us to fight, you know what I'm saying, stronger and harder. And we didn't have to be hospitalized. Hallelujah, Jesus, okay? We did not have to go and get oxygen. Okay, we were able to fight it and breathe at home. Thank you so much, Sister Viz. Love you. You know what I'm saying? We did not have to, you know, be put on a ventilator. Okay. Hey, sis. Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
You know, and Fisa, you know, I love you. At the end of the day, it's like, that's a serious thing. And I'm going to tell y'all why, because again, you have to know your body, right? knowing your body, going to the doctors, right? Getting your checkup, right? Being on top of your annual visits. And that's like a serious thing in our community. It's such like a darn taboo. Yes. It's such a situation all the time. Mm-hmm. And at this junction, I don't feel like it should be a situation, whether it's male or female or whatever. Mm-hmm. Go to the doctor, whether you have insurance or not insurance. You need to know. You need to know if you have high blood pressure. You need to know if you're asthmatic. You need to know if you're pre-diabetic. You need to know if you're diabetic. Mm-hmm. You need to know if you have an autoimmune disease. Right. You need to know, you know what I'm saying, of what your blood type is. Mm-hmm. All of these things or whatever. Why? Mm-hmm. Because of a pandemic like this. And they keep saying we're going to have another pandemic and another pandemic on top of another pandemic, right? So again, our mortal bodies, you know what I'm saying, need to be prepared to, fight it. And yes, on Kathy, you're correct. Build a relationship with your doctor, right? Yes. And follow up with your doctor. Make your doctor work for you and you work with your doctor. Absolutely. And I will definitely say that our primary care physician, she's absolutely excellent. She's both of our primary care physician, right? But she literally called every day. Or her staff or her husband. Somebody called us multiple times a day to check on us ever since we tested positive. Right. And the other last thing I will say before I turn it over to Alonzo and he tells y'all about his journey or whatever, is that when the state calls you, because you tested positive, right? It is not to put you in a situation, okay? It is not to, put your business out there or whatever. It really is to say, hey, we know you tested positive.
Right. Because they reported
it. Okay. That's what the hospital did. That's where the Sunshine Lab that we, went to or whatever, they reported it. It automatically goes to the state and they have the state trackers, people that are actually paid to do that. Right. Answer the phone when the state calls, because honestly, they do give you really good advice on what to do, what to drink, how to eat. They're sincerely checking on you, and they want to make sure that every person that is registered, census-wise, whatever, that lives in your house is quarantining, okay, for the entire, 10 to 14 day process. Hey, Christina. Hey, Tyra. Thank y'all for joining. Hey. You know what I'm saying? For the whole entire process, okay? Yes. And that's a real serious thing out here, because what it is that a lot of times, again, you have the parents that may have contracted COVID, or you have the child that may have contracted COVID, and then somebody in the house is going in and out of the house, still going to work, still going on a bus, still going on the train, the plane, taking trips and doing whatever you doing or whatever. And you're like, no, I'm good. I don't feel any symptoms, but somebody in my house has it. No, you're supposed to quarantine or whatever as a respect for humanity, right? As love for humanity, right? That you don't know necessarily right away if you are a COVID carrier, if you are asymptomatic, or if you are actually negative, okay? And thank God our children tested negative in the beginning on the 7th when I got my infusion, and then they tested negative again when we finished our quarantine. Hey, Sister Dion, we love you, and Brother Joe. Y'all our favorite couple.
Come on.
But listen, it's a serious thing, brothers and sisters. Come on, y'all. Listen, stay in the house. Stay in the house or whatever. I'm not telling you to live in fear, but if you were tested COVID positive and the state calls you and tells you to quarantine, stay at home. Yes. Okay, I'm losing money. Yes, I can't go to work. Yes, this can't happen and that can't happen. Where there's a will, there is a way, right? Rely on your village. My cousins and them, they all off it. Okay. Hey, we could drop off stuff and leave it outside on the doorstep. No, we're good, because, honestly, when I think about it in retrospect, God really kind of orchestrated some things with us, because I had just got finished grocery shopping. Literally that week prior. So we had a house full of groceries. We had everything we needed. We had Tylenol. We had certain things that was, I had just got my hair done. Jayla got her hair done. Like, it was like a lot of things that we did not have to. What did you do with the kids? Okay, yes, we're gonna talk about that, Nikita, in a hot second. I'm gonna let Alonzo talk about his positiveness, and then we'll talk about the children. But like I said, we got them tested immediately. So I tested positive on the 5th. Alonzo and the children went to go get tested on the 7th because they were not showing any symptoms, right? And tell them what happened.
What happened again?
The children tested negative. You tested negative.
I tested negative.
The first time.
Right. So boom. I tested negative. Let me just say this. Public service announcement. I wish I had a bullhorn over here. COVID
is real.
It's real.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
COVID is very real.
People of the jury. COVID is real.
Yeah, hashtag COVID is real.
Hashtag COVID is real.
Come on, y'all. Put it in the comments.
That's the name of my next single. COVID is real. But what I'm saying is,
oh God,
listen, I know I gotta be a little bit animated, but what I'm saying is, man, I was sitting in here, I had the spirit of like Fat Joe, Remy Ma. I was leaning back because I couldn't do nothing. I was sitting on the front row like an old mother in church, just I was trying to wait a minute. I said, well, listen, God understands the murmurers and what it is?
Yeah,
groanings and moanings. So I was in there like, Lord, I was saying, you don't know the trouble I didn't see. Because my thing is, wait a minute. I didn't, this is right. This is devastation.
My God.
Because again, when I got the positive, I was like, oh,
right, and you got the positive on the 10th. You started to
on the 10th.
So basically that Saturday, not that Saturday, the following Sunday. Yeah. The following Sunday after I tested positive, Alonzo started developing symptoms. Right. Yes, on Kathy, COVID is real.
COVID is real. Yes. So boom, now I'm test positive. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, man, first let me tell you something. Now, this is why I wasn't smart. Right. But I was loving through sickness and in health. Yeah. So my wife, my empress, when she came down with it, I said, well, okay, boom. She was like, babe, I need, doing food, we doing soups, right? All the supplements and things like that. Instead of me bringing the stuff to the door and like leaving it out like on a tray or something like that, say, babe, here's in front of the door.
Right. And I wasn't in my right mind.
Really think about that. Right. So I was going in the room. Okay, disclaimer. Don't do that.
Right. Don't
go in the room. Right. If somebody got it, they isolated, they quarantining in the room with the door closed, you let them quarantine. Yeah. Right? Hey, don't touch the knobs. Listen.
Thank you for joining.
Peace. And then just sit what you gonna bring in there. Right. And just, boom, say, hey, it's in front of the door. Right. Come out, you spray, Lysol, going and coming. Right. You know what I mean? But no, I was going in the room, even though I was staying my distance. Right. Going in the room, putting the soup out here, putting crackers or whatever else out here. Man, come to find out, of course, I contracted it. Right? Because wait, I'm in the same space. Right. I'm gonna get it. Right. So while I got it, I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna rock this out. Right. Right. Mind you, by like day 2 or 3, I was moaning. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen because it was affecting my thought process. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm foggy. I'm wondering like what's going on. And I'm an avid reader. I couldn't even pick up a book. Right. Everything. I couldn't keep concentration. Right. So, and everyone's symptoms is different. Like, even though we explaining our symptoms, so we have a few on here that have undergone the challenge, and I'm sure they have
own testimony.
Listen, you know how many books come out of COVID? Right. Honestly, real life stories, in stage plays, all of this stuff, screen. Come on. Right. But when I had that thing fall down on me, I started thinking about, all right, like how can I get better? Ange, what's going on? I see Ange on here. Peace. Yes. So when I did that, I was like, how can I get better? So as my wife just explained before, when she got the advice to go get the infusion, she said, babe, you need to go down to medical center and get the infusion because the day after she got the infusion, she was feeling much better in her body. Right. So I was like, man, I'm on it. Called my mother up, was like, Mom, bam, I'll just sit in the back. Yeah. I even
keep the windows open.
Keep the windows open. I hold on to the back like if I'm on like a garbage truck if I had to, just to get me down there. Right. So boom, got down there. They was like, sir, what's your symptoms? I started going through. They was like, all right, do you have any chest pains? Do you have like a heart condition? Do you have, you know, pre-diabetes, all these things going on? And I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? I have a minor hypertension, whatever. Right. And they was like, we just want to let you know that this is still like a trial, basically influence and things that we're doing. So there's certain criteria that you need to meet. Peace. So when I couldn't meet the criteria, I was devastated. Because I was already in the back. They was triaging me. Right. I didn't meet the criteria for the infusion. He did not. I didn't have.
So let's pause here. Okay. So y'all know, okay. Right. The criteria to receive the COVID monoclonal antibody infusion actually has to do with you having a pre-existing condition, right?
That will bring complications. So
if you have something that will compromise your body more, right? That would possibly lead you to be on oxygen or ventilator.
Sure.
They want to kind of catch it for you early if you come early enough, but you have to know what your pre-existing conditions are if you have any, right? And wait, and that's not the other thing. The other thing is too, they only are giving it to those pre-existing condition candidates, right? And people who have a body mass index that is over what they are supposed to be are. So that's one time. Shout out to the big girls, okay? Woo! Shout out to the plus size sisters, all right? Because even though I recently lost 30 pounds, okay, they still had in the system that I was higher weight. So the lady was like, well, we have here that you're so and so and so. I'm like, okay, that's what you say, because I really wasn't.
We're going to go with that.
Right. I wasn't trying to do none of that.
We're going to go with
so that turned out to be in my favor because my husband has always been smaller than me as far as weight wise. And like he said, doesn't have any health conditions, thank God. Healthy as an ox. He got turned down. So go ahead.
It was like, we can't help you right now.
I
felt like hold on. I felt like what's my man from the 5 Heartbeats? Wait a minute. I was like, I'm here. Look, Eddie King, y'all need me. I was like, man, they was like, you can't get this. I was like,
and
nice
then,
like this.
And then we he's silly.
I was devastated.
You are crazy.
Wait.
When he called me and he was sounding so bad, he was like, babe. He was like, babe.
This is crazy.
They won't give it to me, babe. I was like, what? Let me talk to the doctor. Let me talk to the ER doctor.
I was like,
let me find out. Whatever. So he was like, excuse me, my wife wants to talk to you. And I talked to them and he was like, Mrs. Wright, unfortunately, even though his highest symptom was fever, he literally had fever, which he'll talk about in a second.
Hold on for a second.
But he had fever literally every day up until like the 10th day of his process. And the doctor, all they said in the ER, like I said, when he tried to get the infusion, was to go back home and and substitute Tylenol and Motrin. That was it. They didn't give him would not give him nothing. A V-Pack. They wouldn't give him nothing.
What's a C-Pack?
C-Pack, whatever. They wouldn't give him nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Right. Because COVID is a viral infection.
It's not bacterial.
It's not bacterial. So what was that? Antibiotics is not going to do you no good, right? Like with that, which is crazy, but that's what it is, So I was like, man, I can't get nothing,
nothing.
I'm out here in these streets.
We can laugh at it now,
we can laugh now. I was like, I'm out here in these streets with nothing. I'm like, man, so I'm back to rocking, and you know what I'm saying? Like, man, what's happening? So like my symptoms now, I'm starting to get like different symptoms. I'm now I can't smell. I said, wait a minute. I got good oils. I got all that.
And that came a couple of days after you tested positive. So that wasn't your first symptom.
So my thing was like I had the body pains, I had the fatigue, the fever started. But when you can't smell something, right, you don't realize how much you need and how much you depend on smelling stuff. Right. So if you walking around here, you know what I'm saying, anything, soap, all this stuff, I'm trying to smell oils, I can't get nothing. So I'm like, but I still had taste. So I was like, I'm gonna get it so I could eat, you know what I'm saying? I could taste my food. Now that was like for a day. So like by like the third or fourth day, I couldn't smell or taste. Now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, people. When you cannot taste, it's another level. It's another level because it doesn't matter. Right. You know what the food seemed like, what it used to taste like, but you can't smell or taste it. So now you just eating, so you just don't be like, you know, not having nothing on your stomach and whatever, and you throwing up and you don't have nothing on your stomach. You know, that's not a good experience. Right. So let me tell you something. I was in there like, how you doing? Trying to eat stuff Beverly, that I don't. Pastor Beverly, yes. God bless. Yes. Like when I'm in there trying to eat stuff that I normally don't eat. Yep. Just to be like, yo, let me just see if I could get a little something. I'm eating burgers. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, excuse me. Like, excuse me. You forgot. You forgot something. What I forgot? That we switched off. So I was in the room from the 5th to my 10th day. I was in the bedroom. Right. And Alonzo got so bad with his COVID. With his COVID that I was like, all right, it's my 10th day. Right. I'll come out the bedroom and come and sleep on the chase, on the couch, pull out couch, whatever. Right. And you go back in the bedroom. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But this is the thing, y'all. Hold up now. This how funny men are. This is the loving through better or worse part, right? Yep. When I found out that I was positive, I had Alonzo go to Panera Bread because that's one of my favorite places. Yeah. And I said, okay, give me 4 soups that I'll just have. You know what I'm saying? You could keep them in the refrigerator. I'll just have them because I know I ain't gonna want to really eat nothing else, right? And then I was like, go to the store and buy a box of Lipton soup in the box, like the red box of Lipton soup that you just gotta take the kettle water and just pour water in it and just, you know, sip on the broth or whatever the case may be, or just vegetable broth or plain chicken broth, whatever you can tolerate, right? So that's all I was eating, y'all, right? And that's all I could try to tolerate. Right. But my dear husband, listen, I was like, man, what can we get? What can we eat? Because I'm trying to get back, y'all. I'm trying to get back. I'm not. Ooh, I'm wait like a minute, y'all. Soup. I'm like, all right.
No, wait. Before you can even get back. Before you can even get back. Big shout out. Woo. Big shout out. Right.
Big shout out.
Big love. Right. Big appreciation. Right. Yep. Big pat on the back though to ourselves. Yes,
that's true. Come on.
To ourselves for raising our children.
Oh my God.
The way that we were raised. Okay, so this is going to answer your question, Nikita, right?
Come on.
You said, how did the children stay COVID negative? They weren't around us. They wore masks, they wore gloves. They all have their own rooms. Right. They have their own bathroom. Thank God. Everybody's house does not have that set up.
Absolutely.
We are absolutely beyond blessed to have that. Right.
Yes.
The other thing is that Jayla and Alonzo and Brianna cooked their own breakfast.
Come on now.
Cooked their own lunch.
Cooked their own lunch.
Cooked their own dinner.
Cooked their own dinner.
And was making stuff for us.
Wait a minute. Now, that sounds like, wait, yo, that's great. You know, your children, y'all made something that was easy.
No. Right.
I'm gonna
tell you.
Wait, now we're gonna tell y'all the dishes. No. That they was preparing.
Right. The dishes that they were preparing.
We was, you know, Chanel was on a thing, Marco Polo, like, or, you know, walking them through the steps or whatever, right?
Yep. Those let me tell you something. They absolutely
let me tell you something.
They absolutely are. So again, I told y'all in the beginning of the live, they're 13.
Yes.
they're 12, and they're 6. Okay.
Come on.
Our house did not get burned down.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The refrigerator did not break. Okay. The food did not go bad. Okay. So the first day that Jayla had to cook, the first night that she had to cook was actually that was the 7th or the 8th, right?
Okay.
The 8th.
Okay.
Jayla made yellow rice, baked chicken, and frozen collard greens that was like already chopped up in the bag that she just had to, bless you, baby.
Excuse me.
Just had to rinse off and season. Right. And I mean, not scared of the kitchen, not scared of fire.
Wait a minute.
Knowing where all the pots and pans are.
All pots.
Knowing how to season the stuff. Like mommy and daddy can't help you. Okay. Right. Your father's down and out on the couch. I'm down and out in the bedroom.
Right.
Okay. I'm like, just wash the food.
Right.
Make sure it don't burn. Okay. Next night or the next night after that lasted up for 2 days.
2 days.
Or whatever. Then Zozo, okay. Alonzo Jr. was like, okay, I'm gonna make spaghetti.
Wait a minute.
You know, and he made spaghetti, you know what I'm saying, with mushroom sauce, with meatballs and garlic bread and Caesar salad for his brother and sister, right?
Where we at? We here. Yes, listen, they did that.
These kids cooked in here, okay? They cleaned in here.
Wait, he had another dish.
Yeah, they had a couple of dishes. I ain't gonna get into all these dishes.
We got flounder.
Oh yes, he made flounder. Right, he made flounder, string beans, and
what are we doing? He's 13.
Night. Yes, 13 years old, big flounder.
So really, what's happening right now?
Yes,
right.
Yep.
God is doing.
Yep, God is definitely doing it.
These children
train
learn.
Up the child.
Train the child that you go in the part. Right. So these children in here, learned so much during these 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
A month that we went through this.
Yes.
Something that they probably would have never really got like that.
Yeah.
In that way.
Well, they learned prior to it.
I mean,
but I'm just saying in preparation.
Right.
We never, I mean, that's just something that we do in our family, period. But we don't treat our children like babies. They have been making their own lunch sandwiches, their own breakfast.
And you monitor them.
You have to monitor them.
You got to give them the confidence of doing it, like the muscle memory, right? Like so they can go through the process. So that way, when they're in the position, they have to do what they have to do.
Absolutely. And I say it all the time. My kids will tell you, they may think I'm crazy because my mother used to say it to me. I'm not always going to be here. Right.
We're not.
I teach my children not to be scared to death. Okay. But I'm not always going to be here.
Absolutely.
You need to be able to know how to function and take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And me and my husband tell that to them all the time.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
We teach them about managing bills. We teach them how to take care of themselves, how to groom themselves, how to clean the house, how to cook. You know, we're not just on here, you know, on Wednesday nights telling y'all stuff that we don't deal with on our own. You know what I'm saying? On a day-to-day basis. Absolutely. Okay. They're very computer literate. They're very tech savvy, all of that good stuff. And we're not bragging and boasting, but we absolutely are proud of them because, like I said, for most children, the house might have caught on fire. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And on top of doing all of those things, they logged on every day on time for virtual school.
Come on.
They helped their sisters. Little sister who is 6 logged on a virtual school. Jayla helps her make sure she washed up every day. Or brag Pastor Beverly, yes. And all of that, because at the end of the day, honestly, your children speak to your legacy, right? They speak to your tutelage. And sometimes I do have to question, hey, Dennis, I do have to question, you know, sometimes, and that's another sidebar. We'll have another show about that on another day. Like, how are we really raising our children? Again, me and Alonzo are in our 40s, you know, so we're not too far removed from those that's in their 20s and 30s. But then you have parents that are in their 50s and 60s. And you want to hold your child hand, talk about my baby this and my baby that. They are our babies, and they always gonna be our babies. But we don't treat them like babies, and we never do. You know what I'm saying? Even now, Brianna at 6 years old, go wash your hands, go get your fruit cup, go get your juice, go get whatever, set your area up, get the forks.
She knows the routine.
She definitely knows the routine. We let her set up the table, and even today we were down, like we're getting down on water cases, and she said, "Mommy, this is the last water bottle out of this case. We only have 1 case of water left or 2 cases of water left. And I'm like, all right, Bree, thank you for telling me.
Right.
Because she knows that's how I run my house. You know what I'm saying? As far as, okay, if something is going down, if it's depleting itself, y'all need to let me know. You know what I'm saying? So that way I can hurry up and order it. I can hurry up and get it, because teamwork, as far as family is concerned, really does make your house run better, right? It makes the dream work. But again, my husband battled this COVID with the fevers up into, like I said, day 10 or 11.
Man, crazy.
And when he came through, I had to, hey, Eric, hey, cuz, I had to really look at him, and me and the kids cracked on him because COVID took a lot out of him. COVID took a lot out of me. I lost an extra 10 pounds on COVID. You lost a lot of weight on
probably
COVID.
Did like 15, close to 15, 20 pounds. I mean, I'm eating crazy. So I might look like I'm getting a little bit back.
Right. But you were eating more in COVID, because in the beginning, like you said, you were still able to taste and smell for a good little while. But you were eating more. Talking about I want a Blimpie. I want this. That's just
I need to taste. I need to. What happened? I'm like, man, we need to get something different.
Oh, Jesus.
Need some vinegar, something. Because I'm trying to taste stuff. But as I see Pastor Beverly said, we overcome, by our testimony. So we on here saying these things so that way you can hear it.
Oh, yes.
Right? Also know that COVID is real, but also know that you can survive it.
Yes, you can.
Right. So that's really paramount in what the show is about.
And the love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That keep you through.
That you have for one another. Again, when you take those vows, because we said it in the beginning of the show, when you take the vows on that day, you know what I'm saying, for the married couples that are watching, or married people that are watching on tonight, you really don't know what for better or for worse really means. You know what I'm saying, at that time. And trust me, we have gone through a couple of things, you know what I'm saying, where Alonzo had to be there for me and I had to be there for him. Hey, cousin Asia, you know what I'm saying? And we were physically, challenged, or there was a situation, but this was honestly, it could have been a real near death experience.
Right. So, but let me tell you just how God works.
Yes.
And how he's a preserver.
Yes, he is.
And how he's a provider.
Yes.
How he's Jehovah Shalom. Like we can go through this, Jehovah Rapha.
Right.
Jehovah Nisi. Like all of these things. Right. But the way that it was structured was that because Chanel had to go through it first. Right. The days was in a way where
it was staggered.
It was staggered.
Right.
So I got it a little bit after her.
Right.
So we weren't going through the serious symptoms at the same time. Thank God.
Yes, Lord.
Right.
Yes,
so
Lord.
when I started getting worse, she was getting a little better.
That's right.
Right. So she was able to talk and she was able to say, okay, you do this.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
And whatever have you. So when there were days were coming when she was getting close to her 14th day, you know what I'm saying? Like around 10, 11, she was like, all right, let's switch.
Yeah.
You come and get the comfort of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to the chase.
Angie.
I'm going to come do that. So it was a blessing that it was like spaced out like that.
Beyond a blessing.
Beyond
a blessing.
I was like,
or whatever. Even though I couldn't wait to get back in my bed, y'all, and be back in my bedroom and use my own bathroom. And yes, we are definitely taking our time to get your body on track. We're definitely doing that. And yes, Pastor Beverly, it's for better, for worse, for richer, poorer, through sickness and health, to death do you part. Yes. But I said.
Now, wait a minute. This right here is what I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
COVID recovery.
Yes.
Helps put a lot of things in perspective.
Absolutely.
Cousin, that is the truest statement of 2021.
Oh, absolutely.
Because let me tell you something. As I'm now like recovering and getting back to 100%, I'm like, I got to call all my family.
Yeah.
And my wife is, a witness. I'm like, man, my care level has to be on 1,000.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, man, I could have been out of here. And also, I don't know what else is going on in my family's and close friends' lives that they might not be sharing. Right. And I'm saying like life is so precious even more now to me. So I'm saying, man, listen. How you doing?
Connect with people.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Ange.
Even like I'm just saying, I'm like, you're gonna be hearing my voice. You're gonna soon get tired of me.
Yeah.
Because I want you to know that I care about you.
Yeah.
I want to know that you got somebody in your corner.
Yes.
I want you to know that, listen, life could be very challenging, but you're not doing this alone.
And it doesn't,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, but it doesn't hurt.
Real
I mean,
talk,
I was
real
already
talk.
doing that even before COVID, because that's just the type of person that I am.
I was not really like on it like I needed to be. This just helped me be like,
give you
man,
like you said, a greater perspective.
Get your life.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your life.
I'm definitely a family person. I'm a family advocate. I'm real big on family and friends.
Yes.
And I will just call you out of the blue, text you out of the blue, check on you, you know, see if you need something, and not want anything back in return. I definitely will say that we both are givers in that area or whatever, but it definitely has helped us get a greater perspective and understand like really what's important in life. You know what I'm saying? And life is short.
Absolutely.
I know Alonzo was telling me, he would tell me on the phone, because we couldn't really talk a lot. We were texting and different things like that, because I wanted him to preserve his breath. And we both had separate pulse ox machines that we had to use daily, you know, and make sure that our breathing did not go down to 91%. I definitely will say that real quick, you know, just in case. You know, just order it off of Amazon. It wasn't expensive at all. The pulse ox machine, it goes on your finger. It registers your hey Warren, love you, bro.
Warren, what's good? Peace and love. Yes.
Pulse ox machine. Oh, also thermometers, guys. Thermometers. Please get multiple thermometers if you have multiple people in your house. Everybody should have their own personal
like a real one, like going in your mouth,
and one that goes in your mouth, babe? Because like I said earlier, the digital thermometers do not give the proper reading at all.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's kind of sketchy. It's suspect. You know what I'm saying? But an oral thermometer, you know, straight old school is the one to have to do it. Also, a neti pot if you have one, or a Vicks vapor pot or whatever. Or if you don't have that, just take a regular pot. Boil it, put hot water in it. Add some eucalyptus oil, lavender oil. You can even, if you don't have any of that, if you have rosemary seasoning in your cabinet, sprinkle that in the water. Put your head over it with a towel, and that definitely helps. You know, your lungs. Going in the shower, which took a whole bunch of effort to wash every day, literally, like no TMI, but it took a lot of effort to do it. You know, having the water hot, you know, steaming up the bathroom, all of that stuff definitely helps, you know, clear out your lungs. Exercising and not physical exercising, which we got a funny story about that, but like sitting up on the bed, stretching, you know, inhaling and exhaling, you know, to make sure that you don't develop COVID pneumonia in your lungs. Okay. And that is a real thing. Like, it's not even regular pneumonia. They call it COVID pneumonia. Your lungs internally turn black. Okay. And you don't even realize it.
What's happening?
It's like building up or whatever the case may be. You just thinking, oh, it's a pain in my chest. I can't really breathe. It hurts when I move. But that's all that happens. And you can actually still develop that even after the fact, after you went through your quarantine, after you know, did your whole process. Now, you know, you have to be very careful that you don't, you know, develop that, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, like I said, loving, you know, through sickness and health is a real serious situation. And I would definitely say thank you, Sister Vivian. Definitely will say, you know, having your spouse's back. You know, don't minor on the major and don't minor on the minor. Okay. You want them well. You want to be well. And don't worry about bills. Don't talk about like, don't worry about what ain't getting taken care of. And I'm gonna tell you, I even had to contact a lot. He was so bad. I had to text his VP and was like, you know, hey, Alonzo will not.
Now, let me tell you, listen. When I decided that I was going to try to log back in to work, because I was like, man, it's a busy season for us. We're doing a lot. So I was like, you know what? I can't leave my team out there like that. So I logged in. Let me tell you something. That COVID my mind wasn't all the way there.
No.
I was in meetings and like listening to people talking. I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I know this stuff, but man, This stuff is not connecting for me. And then I had meetings I had to lead. Yeah. Right. So because I was there, I was like, wait, I'm leading the meeting. Yeah. I'm talking. And at the same time I'm talking, in my mind, I'm like, I hope nobody asks a question. Yeah. Because I don't remember the first things I started saying as I get to the end. Yeah. So I'm like, wait, I'm not. So
while he listen, no, you weren't. But like I said, while you were in the process of trying to recover and push yourself, or whatever the case may be, and different things like that. You know, I was handling business stuff. You know, like I said, contacting clients, his manager at his 9 to 5, and clients for ALO Design Pros. Thank you guys so much.
Ooh, man.
If you're watching on tonight, you know. Accepting our emails and letting you know that we were positive and we were just battling through. Absolutely. And we're going to get to your stuff by the end of this month and in the beginning of next month, and everybody's stuff will be caught up and we'll be all caught up. And again, we thank y'all, I'm saying, for understanding. We didn't put out there originally that it was COVID, but we just said, we'll be back in about 2 weeks and 3 weeks. And honestly, it turned in longer because I wasn't expecting Alonzo to become positive. Right. So in actuality, we really double quarantine, and we really been quarantining for like a whole month. At this juncture. Yes. So I mean, again, guys,
listen. In closing, I just like to say to my wife,
I like to say to you,
I love you.
I love you. I love you.
I love you so now. Got that GQ spirit on me. I do. Okay.
All right.
I love you.
I'm
I
a
love
singer.
you.
Okay, you sound good.
Woo! I mean, the note was a little nice and crisp on him. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can sneak a little line in. Listen, but let me tell you something.
Y'all want to be with somebody. Now, y'all know we're going to be right back in action. But
wait a minute.
Y'all want to be with somebody.
Man.
That's going to love you through sickness and health.
Okay?
Because
love you
listen. I already know
it's
out here.
Real out here in the field.
Let me tell you something. It's real out here in these streets. That as soon as your boo gets sick or she gets sick,
listen,
you out here trying to check for somebody else. Okay, you out here talking about, well, I ain't signed up for this.
Wait a minute.
He got to get his leg amputated.
Huh?
She can't do what she used to do.
She can't. He or she cannot walk anymore.
I want y'all to watch that now. I want y'all to watch that. I mean,
this is real life dynamics.
It is very much so.
Come on.
Because it can turn just that quickly.
Just that
fast.
But
if your love, you know what I'm saying, it's genuine.
Love.
It's genuine and it's real.
Genuine.
You're going to love through it.
Come on.
Like you said, bro, yes, absolutely. Thick and thin, better or worse, sickness and health. Okay. You're going to love the person back to health. You're going to love the person through. You're going to
love is that powerful.
You're going to, it really is.
Love's
really
lifts.
Is. It
God
really
is love.
Yes. And we love our children. Like I said, they are absolutely awesome.
Yes.
And as Pastor Beverly said, I guess we should brag more about them. Man. We do post about them. They begin to be like, "Mommy, don't post about us on Facebook."
Right. Listen,
but
it's real.
It's a really good thing. And like I said, it's not just for fake, for fashion or any of that stuff. It's just like, at the end of the day, you have to be the best parent. Thank you, Pastor Beverly.
Yes.
You have to be the best parent that you can be.
You gotta do that.
You have to be the best husband you can be, the best wife you can be. And that is your core. That is your primary, primary focus.
And like, I believe and we believe that things don't happen by accident.
No, they don't.
Even things that appear to be negative.
That's correct.
Right? This experience now has led us and brought us to a place in our lives that we know that we can now contribute in a different way, whether that be verbally, whether that be emotionally, mentally, to others to say, wait a minute, your struggle or challenge may not be COVID, right? But the love that you're building now will see to it that you can get through that too.
Absolutely. And listen,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm here for it, babe. I hear you.
Wait a minute.
Listen, like I said, in closing on tonight, listen, teach your children, teach your grandchildren how to cook and clean, right? Cook and clean. Not just gaming and the phone and taking them to Funplex and Chuck E. Cheese and that's all great and good, but teach them early.
Give them a sense of pride.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay. We don't own the song.
That's enough.
Or whatever. And then also too, listen, wives, husbands, if your wife can't cook.
Wait a minute.
Can't cook. If your husband can't cook, you need to.
But there's no such thing as can't cook.
Well, don't cook well, rather. Okay. I'll take that back. Let me retract that back. Cook well. Then you need to, help them with that too, and teach them how to manage certain things and all of that other stuff. And like I said, I know again, everybody likes to buy a lot of things to put in their homes, but please, guys, make sure that y'all have the major things that you need in your house right now. Okay.
Listen.
That is the departing word. Okay.
That's the part. Let me also have one more departing word.
Okay. Let me finish this. Yes. Okay. Major things in your house. Right. Always keep Tylenol, Motrin, children's Tylenol, whatever you need. The mama
herbs too.
Or yes.
Come on with the herbs.
All your herbal supplements.
Come on with it.
All of your vitamins. Heating pads, you know what I'm saying? The ones that go in the microwave, the one that plugs in, or whatever. Right. And then also too, just as a funny thing, I have to absolutely say thank you to my husband for purchasing the bed that we have. We have the bed that we have for a minute, a couple of years, but I fought him tooth and nail because I wanted, what was the bed? I wanted the one that does both sides.
Oh, like the raising up?
Yeah, but our bed raises and it raises the foot and the head. Right. And thank God for it because that helped to sleep with zero gravity, as they call it, mode with the remote. So it's like a lot of different things that we had here.
Right.
That we have here in our house that we have been blessed, highly blessed with, and favored with, had definitely helped us, and we were prepared to kind of battle this out.
But again, just to come back off of what she said in learning and imparting words, right? This experience, I mean, I had this already, but for some of us who don't, you want to work, right? You want to be independent, self-sufficient, right? But let me tell you, it doesn't matter how much finances you have, how much is in the bank, how much is in your pocket.
Right.
When you are suffering a personal health challenge, let me tell you how much little that money counts. It doesn't count. So some may be going through different health challenges in their body that may be chronic. Right. But you're trying to sustain yourself and you're trying to work, you're trying to do all of these things. You have your children, you have things to do. But let me tell you something. Take care of you.
That's good. That's a good thing to leave.
Love yourself enough to not let no boss, no job, nobody stressing, no family member.
Friend.
Listen, once it starts affecting your personal health, whether that be mental health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional health, Houston, we have a problem.
Yes.
And you have to set your priorities in order. Yeah. Know that if you're not well, everything that's connected to you can fall.
That's right. That's right.
Hope y'all received that.
Yes, guys. So listen, guys, we love you.
We love y'all.
We love y'all. Man, thank y'all.
We was on here for a minute. I wasn't,
we thank y'all for coming on tonight.
Come on.
We want to see you guys back here next Wednesday.
We're gonna turn it up.
And we're gonna be back on regular schedule, prayerfully.
Yes. And don't forget to tune in
on Friday nights.
On Friday nights. At 9 p.m.
Yes.
The Inspired Living Network. Shout out to Liz Black. Now before we got to shout out Liz is our friend.
Yes, birthday.
And she's so genuine with
it.
Come on, shout out. She just had a birthday 2 days ago. Or yesterday. Shout out to Liz Black. Most of y'all know her from WBLS.
CEO.
Come on, CEO of the Inspired Living Network. Listen, she's a visionary. She's doing it. Now, the Inspired Living Network, you can get on Roku, as well as Amazon Fire Stick.
And also, and also the website.
InspiredLivingNetwork.com.
Yep, I believe
Come on.
Listen. And soon come Android and Apple.
We will have apps that y'all can check it out. But shout out to Liz Black and the whole team over there at Inspired Living Network. And the whole family of shows that's doing their thing. You know what I mean? So again, we just want to say you have just now been.
Yes, you have now reached
the right
the right spot. Yep. Listen,
come on,
guys.
Love's the right spot.
Love's the right spot.
Listen, we're doing this.
Love through sickness and health.
Love through sickness and health. It is possible.
Yes, it is.
Though it is challenging, you can make it through together.
Yes.
Come on, guys. We love y'all. We want to say, be inspired.
Yep. To be great.
To be great.
Yes.
Love y'all.
Love you.
And we will. Come on. We will.
Yes.
See you.
Yes.
God willing.
Yes.
Next week.
Yes.
Peace.
Yes.
And love.
Peace and love.
Welcome to Love's the Right. Hey. Love the right. Love the right. Love the right. Love the right.